How's it going, party people? It's Caravan Dan, and we're going to talk about 10 amazing games that I found in 2023. Now, just a heads up, we are doing Kickstarter right now, January 20th, all the way until February 11th, I believe. So if you want to support us and what we do in the videos, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and go to the description of this video and support us there. Let's talk about how I found these 10 games, okay? So, we started Gaming Caravan technically, and I think it was the first day of February, but we've been playing it since November of 2022. Took us a couple months to get the financial plan down and getting everything straightened out, but we finally got it right. So, first things first, I needed to find the best games to offer at our Gaming Caravan events. We run events in Central Florida, and we have an online community that we just talk about board games, do online events, and so forth. Much like our monthly giveaways that we've been doing for about the whole year now. So, we talked to some people, and he said, hey, I need to learn some board games. I'm not really good at reading and learning from reading rules. I'm really good at reading from books, but rule books for some reason are just a different language for me. So I had a lot of friends say, don't worry, I'll learn the game and we'll teach you. And the first game I needed to learn, because it was the biggest game of 2022, it's in the top 3 for every single board game, top of this year that I've seen. And it was Wingspan. I had to learn Wingspan. That was a must-learn type of game. So, one of the first games I learned of 2023, technically the first one, it happened on January 1st, I believe, was Wingspan, the base game. And I'm not going to lie, it took me a little bit to understand, but luckily, a friend of mine named Heather, she was able to sit us down, talk us through a 5-player game. Now, I'm not going to lie, there was a rule that I found out literally last week that she taught that was actually wrong, and it changes half my perception of the game. So at the core of the game is the same. You know, we know how to buy birds, we know how to use birds, we know how to use all that stuff. But when it comes to placing birds down, the way we've been doing it is that you have to do cascading downwards to your tableau. So because basically that's how you play the game in general, right? Is you go from the far rightmost location and you play down, and then you go left, and then you go left, and then you go left. So we did that with placing birds as well. So if you have 2 on your bottom row, 3 on your middle row, and 4 on your top row, you were able to play 3 birds if you did 5, 4, 3. That's not the case. Apparently, and I've checked this a lot of ways, I found out from BGA, but then I looked it up online, apparently some other people say this as well. You can only play 1 bird per turn no matter what, except if you have the stuff that says play another bird. That changes the game for me. I loved having my full board by the end of every single game, basically, with only 2 or 3 slots remaining. So, maybe that's a new home rule for you. If not, you know, that made me sad when I realized last week we've been playing it wrong. That's one of my favorite games. That's easily a top 10 game for me. We'll have a top 10 list coming pretty soon as well. I'm trying to release 1 video every single day just to get some content out there and get us out a little bit more. Now, I do want to have my honorary 1 listed right here. It is Scythe. The only reason Scythe isn't in the top 10 games I've learned or in 2023 is because technically I learned it December 31st. Literally, we learned it December 31st, middle of the day. Friend Mike Lugo, if you guys come to my events, you guys know our board game teacher Mike. He teaches almost all the games. He taught us that game, had a great time. I won my first time playing, and I won because I texted inside the group, our Facebook group that we have for Gaming Caravan, which is also in the description of this video. And I'm like, hey, how do you win Scythe? And people just gave me tips and suggestions, like don't forget what only 3 things give you points. So I focused on that and I won. Great experience, great advice. We have a great community. From the start, I knew we had a great community for Gaming Caravan Facebook group. And then since I was learning board games, I also had to buy board games. And instead of buying online, I really wanted to show my face to the local tabletop stores. There are not too many around here. They're mostly card stores with tabletop games. But there's a few like Haven Games, Crafty Gamer, stuff like that. I drove around and collected some games, paid, said, hey, my name's Daniel. I'm the guy that's been doing this. If you want to work together, let me know. And I was actually able to make some good connections and a couple friendships from this. I saw on the shelf of the Crafty Gamer. I have not seen this game since, but I saw that he had the Bloodborne, the trading card, or Bloodborne, the card game, TCG. I'm like, wait, that exists? I am a video game IP fanatic. If you watch any of my videos, I talk about this all the time. Video game IP fanatic, not just video game. I'm an IP fanatic. Like Munchkin is a great game, but Marvel Munchkin, TMNT Munchkin, like the amount of IPs in Munchkin just, it helps that I loved the series and then I found IPs. Because I don't like games just for the IP, but it does like boost it like 4 points in my head basically. But Bloodborne the card game, like I thought it was going to be one and done because video game card games or video game board games in general are typically just like not the same quality or as good. They kind of like lean heavily on the game from what I heard and what I've experienced a little bit. But no, the card game, Eric Lang made a fantastic game. He's one of the few game designers I don't personally know or I'm friends with on Facebook that I can say, like, I can attest to his games. Because also I found out Blood Rage. Oh, how's Blood Rage not on this list? You know what? It makes sense it's not on this list. Anyways, moving forward. Yeah, Eric Lane made a hit with that one. That one was fantastic. I can't get over it. We played it with my wife and her family and a couple of her friends. And I thought it was going to be a one and done type game, but I read the game from the rule book in like one night, and I'm like, there's no way this game's like that easy and that fun. It is both. It's a semi-co-op game. It is so fantastically made. It makes sense that, you know, because CMON produces, and that's actually how CMON became one of my favorite game companies, is because they produce a lot of IP-related games. I actually can't tell you almost any non-IP games from CMON. Zombicide has kind of become its own IP, but also uses so many other IPs at this point, which is, again, I'm so hyped for DC's coming out this year. That'll be its own video again for my top 10 excited games for this year. But yeah, so I found Bloodborne, the card game. I keep saying trading card game because I'm used to TCG. But Bloodborne, the card game, and it is such a hit. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Carlos, a Crafty Gamer. Thank you for Daniel for showing, like, I was talking and I was walking around, I saw that. They didn't have the expansion. I found the expansion about 5 months later. I just bought it off of Amazon because I truly couldn't find it anywhere. Like, I searched everywhere. Flea markets, Dice Tower East, all this stuff. No one even had it. No one even knew that the game existed, never less the expansion existed. And the expansion, I don't know how people say it makes the game worse. It makes the game so much better. Yeah, it makes it a little bit more asymmetrical because of the runes that you get early in the game. But it's just, oh my gosh, it's so good. I can't. Anyways, love that game. Obviously, why you're seeing why it's in top 10. And for the record, this is chronological. That's why it's not 1 to 10 in like favorites. It's my first game I played was Wingspan, and then Honorary was Scythe because it was technically a day before Wingspan, and then Bloodborne. And next up we have there's a guy on Facebook in Central Florida. He runs the Central Florida board game community. It's literally called that on Facebook, and he opens his house once a month. Just like I do my events at churches once a month, he does his once a month but at his own house. It's not a business. It's just him having fun with some friends. It's a potluck type thing. Everyone brings food. We just drink whatever you want. We eat whatever is brought and whatever we bring. It's a great time. And I learned a lot of good games from there. And then the same day, I watched some people playing Unmatched. I'm like, oh, looks like Star Wars Epic Duels. And that's one of my favorite games of all time, but it costs $200. And they're like, oh, imagine that, but better. I'm like, I'm not going to lie. It's a great game. They're like, trust me, it's better. So let me play a 2v2 with them. These great people I haven't seen since, but thank you so much if you're watching this, guys. Thank you so much for teaching this game to me, because honestly, my wife loves it. I got friends that love it. I want to do tournaments with it. I found out restoration games from them. Like, thank you so much for putting that in my vision. But we played, and I had a great time. I was Robin Hood, I believe, with my merry men. That was a great experience, and we won that game. I think my partner was Bigfoot, so that was actually a great experience. And then after we did Unmatched, the same day, someone says, hey, do you want to play Nemesis? Now, Nemesis, they told me, was like I thought it was going to be like a 2-hour experience because they said it's a long board game. I'm new to board games. So I'm like, oh, 2 hours is, like, I played Munchkin, which can go for 3 to 4 hours, but that's like, in my head, that was an anomaly. Turns out that's not an anomaly. That's just what a medium game is in board games. So he said, yeah, I'll set it up. It took him an hour and a half to set up. That, I now know, is not a red flag, but it's like, be aware because of how long it takes to set up. So it took him like an hour and a half to set up. We played it. We learned it. It took 4 to 6 hours. I forgot how much. But in our first game, I was 1 movement space away from making it out of the ship alive. A lot of things went wrong, and 1 guy actually survived. No one's ever seen people in that group. No one's ever seen people succeed. They watched it online. They played with friends, and this guy succeeded. Barely. Like, his next card he flipped over was an infection card. If you know Nemesis, you know that's insane. If you don't know Nemesis, imagine Aliens, the board game. Literally. Yeah, that was Derek's house. I learned Unmatched and Nemesis. That was just some fantastic games. One of my other favorite games I learned from some friends. Now they're just awesome people. Love them to death. Laura and Connor, which are also some of my volunteers. They help set up and tear down like crazy. Connor's a working machine. Like, that guy is insane. And they heard what I was doing. It's funny. I'll get into that story in a different video. But Ark Nova is a game they taught me. I had it. I'm like, I've been wanting to play this game for so long. It's so pretty. It costs like $80. And it's one of the top 5 games I heard was like out last year. So I got to get it for the events. And lo and behold, it is one of the most quality games I think I've played. I think the only thing that would make it better if they had like some dual layered boards for the player boards and some other stuff. But other than that, it is insanely high quality. Like I love Ark Nova. The expansion just makes it even better. It's not one of those things that like, oh, I wish, you know, it changes some things. No, it just makes it better. Just like the Bloodborne expansion. There's no bad changes, I would say. They both just make it like unequivocally better than before. Yeah, so they taught me on Ark Nova, which easily a top 10 game as well. Again, these aren't the top 10 games of all time. It's top 10 games I learned in 2023. And then after that, I went to Dice Tower East, which they also went to, along with some other friends I met that help run Viva Church in Orlando. It is Jeremy and David. There's some great people. I got there first. I got to the convention first and foremost because this is my business. I need to meet new people. I need to play the board games. I need to learn how a convention works in this area. And it was a lot, especially when you do it from working perspective, taking videos, taking pictures, meeting, greeting, handing stuff out, talking to businesses, trying to understand how this even came to be, find the history of it, see like, you know, what is Dice Tower? I didn't know Dice Tower was a YouTube channel. I thought it was just a nice name for a board game convention. Turns out it's a YouTube channel. So I found a lot of things out at that event. Those 5 days were crazy. Had a great time. But the first game I played, Jeremy and David apparently backed it, they bought it and they're waiting for it to deliver. But Dwellings of Eldervale. We played Dwellings of Eldervale, and apparently they liked it. Also, Jeremy, I put his link in the description below. He runs 9 to 5 Gamers. It's another YouTube channel. He has blown up. He started in January of 2023, and I remember watching him struggle to hit like 1,000 subs for like 3 months. He skyrocketed 1K, 5K, 8K. He's at almost 11K right now. This guy has been so blessed. That's fantastic. If you like my videos, I know you'll love his videos. You know what I'm talking about? I've learned a lot from those guys. And yeah, Dwellings of Eldervale was a great game. I did not think they liked it because honestly, the game can be kind of brutal with the dice rolling mechanic. It is, and I love it, but I need that mechanic to make it live. So basically the way it works is if you have 5 workers going against one other guy's worker, you roll as many dice as you have like people fighting. If I have my 5 people and I roll 5 dice and they're all 3s, but he rolls 1 4, he wins. All of my people, like it's a whole, it could be devastating, but also it's so nice to like, you know, have a chance at not losing. There's some things that increase dice numbers to make it basically impossible to lose, which is also a way of mitigating that kind of stuff, but it is a great game. One of my favorites I've ever played. That game is probably a top 10 game as well. I want to play it again before I say that because that game was a wild ride. And then afterwards, Connor and I were walking around, and we saw this game Bamboo being demoed by Devere Games. It turns out Devere has a base in Orlando, Florida as well. Like I've been learning. I love learning. I love being in new industries, but I like getting to understand what I'm supposed to be doing, which has also been a great experience. And so we played Bamboo. It's a cute little game. Like, where's the box, dude? I actually have this. I bought this game there. It's the first game I bought, like with my own money, basically, when I was in this business. Where is it? Dude, oh, there it is. Okay, I'm looking up. It's right. Oh, crap, that's a tight fit. So, I don't want to turn too much because the innards will fall out. Oh, I'll take off the lid. So look at this. Look at this. It is a cute game. It's a cute game, right? It is. Doesn't look that intensive, right? It's deceiving. But you're balancing like 3 or 4 different tracks in this game. You're doing your feng shui type stuff to make sure your house is balanced. You have to make sure at the end of every single season, your family's fed. You have to make sure you're getting your goals hit, and then you got to make sure that you're like getting some of the deities, the Shinigami and stuff like that. So it's a really cool game. It just takes like 3 or 4 hours, but it looks so cute. Dude, we were unexpectedly blown away by how complex it was for the art style. Way worth it though, like so worth it. Like he's borrowed it from me a few times. I played it a few times. I wish I played better at 2 players without the AI, but you know what? This is one of the games I only want to play in 3 or 4 player counts anyways, so that's my perspective. Yeah, those are the 2 amazing games I found at Dice Tower. We played some other ones that didn't really like tickle my fancy. Like we played Dodo's Riding Dinos. Like my group had a blast with that game. My group had an absolute blast. I sucked so badly. I don't do well with dexterity games. I think the only dexterity game I do well in is I love them to a certain extent. Is Dragon Ball Super, the dexterity game. It's super cool. You flick chips around on any board. Like any table you put it on is now your board. It's so cool. I'll probably do a play day for that pretty soon. But what was I talking about? There we go. So after Dice Tower East, I finally connected with a few other people. Anyways, I found another pastor who, at Faith Assembly, there it is. So I found a pastor at Faith Assembly. Jeremy actually found him. He sold a game to him. He's like, oh, this guy does monthly tabletop events in Orlando, Florida. And then I had a free one coming up, so he showed up to it, and then they had a great time. And now he's like, I need to text him more often, but Joel is a great guy. And Mike Lugo, back to one of my main volunteers, he's also a great guy. We got together to talk business a little bit, but also to find out more about, like, you know, what we're all about. And we played Dune Imperium. We weren't sure what to play, and then I said I've been trying to learn Dune Imperium, and they were both so excited. Both of them are like one of their favorite games of all time. And then we played it, and it was a great experience. And then I taught my wife like 5 months later. I did not think she would like it that much. She loves it. She's surprising with the games she likes. But like she loves Blood Rage. That's in her top 10. Bloodborne the card games in her top 10. Dune Imperium's like almost number 1. Distilled's now her number 1. But yeah, I'm surprised Distilled's not on my list. That's a great game. There's so many great games in here. Anyway, so then after that, months later, again, a month, like multiple months goes by. Dice Tower East was July. I found Dune Imperium in probably August, whenever I played it with them. And then I don't think anything came across my, like really stood out like significantly to me. Distilled was a good game. Distilled was like November, I believe. But nothing truly popped out like it did in December. When I saw someone post, I think on like December 2nd, I saw it on Reddit actually. I saw it on Reddit. Someone took a picture of it like, oh, I'm at some Korean board game expo. And tabletop, or is Splendor, Pokemon Splendor. Bro, I'm like, this exists? He's like, yeah, it comes out in like next week, or it came out like just yesterday at the event. And then I got myself a copy. I didn't get one because I'm like, I want one, but I want it personally in the business. You know, I have to use business funds responsibly. It's just, I don't know if other people even like it. So then I posted about it on BGG on like the Facebook group. And I'm like, you guys saw this? And they're like, whoa, I didn't know that existed. I'm like, okay, everyone seemed hyped about it, so I knew it would be a good game for my business. So I got 2 copies, one for me, and one to do a giveaway. So it was worth the shipping fee because I got 2 copies at the $80 a buck price. And I got expedited shipping. I got it in on like December 23rd or something like that, and played it immediately. It's a great game. It took 3 plays to fully understand how to play the game, but it was a great game. It was a fantastic game, to be honest. So Pokemon Splendor happened like early to mid. When I played it, it was like right before Christmas, so it was like mid-December. And literally 2 days before the year ends, December 30th, 2023, some people talk about they're doing an end-of-the-year party, like a Christmas party, December 30th. And another Facebook group that's in Central Florida. There's a few Central Florida Facebook groups for board games. It's very, not competitive, but it's very like, we all have our own groups, and they all do different things, which is really cool. These guys are the Cool Stuff Gamers. They've talked about it, and the issue about me running monthly events, I can never play. People bring games like, Dino, I want to play with you at these events. I'm like, I can't play. I'm running the event. And I think one time I tried. I waited for the event to basically be over. We were about to tear down. I tried to play a quick game of Wingspan with 3 people, and we all played so fast and kind of on top of each other. It still took us 90 minutes, like literally. Oh my gosh. And I don't know why. Like, we played super fast. Like, no one really thought the whole game. So it's kind of still, like, just hard and distracting. I still had to, like, stop and do a couple things. Or, like, answer questions and stuff, so I wasn't able to focus on my turn because I didn't want to take too long. But, yeah. Anyway, so I attended this board game event on December 30th. And, holy crap. Journey Adventure Quest was pulled out. For my good friends, the Booths, which is funny. Pilar and Brian are some now probably good friends. We're going to be good friends. If you guys are watching this, fun fact, we're going to be good friends, along with Landon. And Journey Adventure Quest was played. Imagine, people, they don't agree with me, but I don't care what they agree with because I speak the truth. I don't care what's a popular opinion. I speak the truth, okay? Imagine 7 Wonders drafting before Munchkin, okay? And after all the drafting selected, you have to fight the monster in the middle, like a Munchkin monster. But it's not one guy. You all independently have to be able to beat your own monster. It's awesome. And then there's like rewards, and there's points, and there's money. You have to actually, so instead of Munchkins, you just like do it. It's more like Binding of Isaac, where you have to buy the cards that you're drafting. There's spells. Oh, it's so good. And I didn't know it was a small game. I couldn't find it to buy anywhere. Couldn't find it on eBay. Couldn't find it on BGG. There's a listing on BGG for the game, not for sales. To the point where I literally had to hit up the creator and be like, yo, I need some copies. So I was able to talk to the creator, possibly get some copies in to sell at the event, and also like have myself, because Journey Adventure Quest, JAQ, one of the best games I found. And that was a great way to end my year out. If you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Again, we're doing a Kickstarter right now. So go to the link in the description, go to our Kickstarter, support while you can. We just need $1,000. That will help us secure venues for the year, rent the vans that we need to load and unload all our stuff for the year, help pay for the entire storage unit that we use for all the board games, all that stuff. We still have a lot I keep in my house. I just don't have a huge house. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your favorite games you learned this year are. Tell me if you played any of the games I've played. I want to hear your opinions, guys. I want to hear what you think about the board games of 2023. And I'm excited for 2024 releases. That will be another video hopefully coming soon. Thank you. God bless. Have a great day, guys. I will catch you guys later.